Hi students, it's Mrs. Nelson. This week you're going to be building a summer calendar. You're going to be looking at some of the various events here in the Canyon School District area, and you're going to be adding events of interest to your calendar. So I've got in this this assignment for you. I've got a list of free or nearly free events around the Canyon School District area. I live in Sandy, so there's a lot more in Sandy and Draper that I know about than some of these others. I did my best to search them, but if you're aware of one that's not on this list, please message it to me so I can add it to the list for other students, because I want to get more activities in Midvale and Cottonwood Heights and other places like that that I don't necessarily have as many events for. Because I'm just not aware of them, or maybe they just don't exist. I don't know. So you're going to click on these hyperlinks. It's going to open a web page for you that tells you more about this particular event. There is a description here that tells you a little bit about it. But I'm going to click on the Sandy Balloon Festival. That's one of my very favorite events to go to, is the Sandy Balloon Festival. And on this page, you'll see, if you scroll down, there's information about the Balloon Festival. It's taking place August 13th and 14th. And I've attended this before, so I know a little about it already, but on Friday and Saturday morning, those 2 dates, they have a bunch of people with hot air balloons that launch them, and they take flight from the park, Storm Mountain Park, on 1400 South at 1000 East. And that happens at sunrise. So every summer I have to Google what time is sunrise, because I don't ever remember from one year to the next, because we always like to get there right before sunrise so that we can see some of the really cool things that are happening. You'll see all of the hot air balloon flight people, whatever their official titles are. You'll see them unpacking and unfolding and being super delicate and intentional in what they do and getting those balloons ready. As soon as it's sunrise and the temperature starts changing because of the sun, then that is the perfect time to launch. And so then they'll start filling their balloons with hot air, which they heat with some flames. It's a really cool event. I really love it. So I want to make sure I go to it. So I could Google right now and see, let's just do it. When is sunrise on August 12th, 2022 in Sandy, Utah? Because it doesn't tell me a specific time, but sunrise is going to be at 6:35 a.m. So we like to get there like around 6 or just a little bit before 6 when we go to this. And that's what I thought it was going to be, but I wasn't sure. So I'm going to add that to the calendar. I'm going to put it on both days because I'm not sure what my family's going to want to do, if they're going to want to do it early on Friday or early on Saturday. So I'm going to put both days on there, knowing that I can choose which date I want to do. So I changed my calendar. Right now I have my calendar displayed month at a time. You can change that to day by day, week by week. I prefer that month-long view, but you can change that right here with that drop down. So I'm going to go to August 12th, and I'm just going to double click on August 12th and type this in here. It is called the Sandy Balloon Festival. And the default is that it is going to put on your calendar as an all-day event. And it's not really an all-day event. They've got stuff first thing in the morning, and then they also have an activity Saturday night called Glow, which is really cool because they have a bunch of hot air balloons that don't take off, but they're lit up by the flames and everything, but they remain on the ground. And it's just a really cool sight because it's dark or getting dark outside, and these hot air balloons are all lit up with the flames, and they're super bright. And then they've got food trucks and music and all kinds of stuff. It's a really cool event. You should definitely go to it if you've never been. So it's not an all-day event, though. So I'm going to uncheck all day, and I'm going to put in the event for the Balloon Festival. I'm going to put that in that I want to get there at 5:45 in the morning. Again, to make sure that I'm there to see all the cool stuff that happens before the launch. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in there that I think we're going to probably stay there until about 8:45. We're usually there for a couple hours at least, but I'll just put it in until 8:45 that day. And then where's it at? Well, it's at Storm Mountain Park. So I'm going to start spelling Storm Mountain Park, and you can see that comes up as an option because Google already knows that I'm in the Sandy area, even though it doesn't have my exact location turned on. But I'm going to click that event information or that location information to add to my calendar. Now this option right here is for notifications. Do I want an email or a pop-up or some kind of notification to remind me about this event? I don't really like notifications, so I'm going to turn that off. But you can, of course, notify yourself the day before or 2 days before. They have all kinds of options for that. I also like to put in the notes because I will put in a bunch of events before summer starts. I put in a bunch of events so that my family will have lots of things to choose from, and we don't have to figure out from day to day what we might do. We look at the calendar descriptions and we're like, yeah, this is definitely one I want to go to. And then so I'll copy and paste that event information in the description for the event. After I have all those details, I have the date. This is the correct date, and I want to make sure. Pop up that calendar. Yep, Friday the 12th. I have that correct date. I've got the time in there. I've got all of the information that I need for this particular event, the details from the website. If I wanted to include the website as well, of course, I can copy the URL, and I can put that in as part of my description, so that if I wanted to go back and look at other details that I might not have copied over, it's already there. I don't have to Google it or search it to try to find that information. So I'm going to go ahead and save that to my calendar. And then I'll want to add it again on Saturday the 13th, because again, I didn't want to pick for my family yet if we were going to go on Friday or Saturday, so I'll add that later. So you'll see there's lots of options for events, and that's what you're going to be doing, is adding them to your calendar. One thing I wanted to show you, and I did make a separate video for library events, but one thing that you can do is you can create a repeating event. So this video right here is going to talk about how to search or filter the library events, but you can also create a repeating event. So for example, if you find Sandy Movies in the Park and you realize that they're going to do it every single Friday, they're going to do this every single Friday for like the whole summer, you could create an event. So let's create the first one. Spider-Man No Way Home. They're going to do a movie at the park, but this one's going to be at Rio Tinto Stadium. I already looked at it. This is going to be a unique situation, but I can also just put it in my calendar that this is happening every Friday, even if I don't put the exact movie or the exact location for this one. I can start a repeating activity, a recurring activity. And if I look at this, it says all the activities start at 7:30, movies start at sundown. So I'm going to put that on my calendar for Friday the 10th, Sandy Movies in the Park. And it's not an all-day event. It starts at 7:30. And we'll probably go, if the movie doesn't start till like 9 or something, it might go until like 11. Whew, better block that out so that I'm thinking about how long it's going to be and decide if that's a good choice for my family. For the location, I could put the Rio Tinto Stadium because I know that's where the first one's going to be. If I wanted to, I could include that this one is Spider-Man. But I could save some of these details and not put them all in yet, because I can create what's called a repeating calendar item. So I can choose that I want this to repeat every Friday. Every Friday. It's going to add it to every Friday for the rest of the Fridays of the whole entire lifetime. So it'll be on your calendar for every Friday until you start deleting that. But I'll show you what that looks like to delete it in just a moment. So I'm going to put it weekly on Fridays, and I'm going to save that for now. Because notice it pops up every Friday at 7:30 p.m. But notice on the 17th, it also still says Spider-Man. It also still says Rio Tinto Stadium. But because I already have some of the basic information that I wanted in there, I can just change this repeated event to the different name and put in the different location. Lone Peak Park in Sandy. And I could do that and save. And then I would choose for this event only. And then it would change it for that event. That means this one on the 24th is still going to say Spider-Man. And it's still going to say Rio Tinto Park. But I haven't lost any of the information, and I can just go through and edit each one of those. If you put in a recurring event, there are ways to make it so that it stops on a certain date. But you could also go in here and see, the last day that they're going to have one is July 29th. So that means on Friday the 5th, there's not going to be one. So I'm going to go ahead and open that event again on Friday the 5th. And I'm going to... I didn't want to edit it, I guess. I'm going to right-click on it and choose Delete. And then, since I don't want to delete each one at a time, I can say delete this and following events, and it will remove all the Friday night notifications or calendar items. But notice everything in July and everything in June is still there. So that's how you could add some event that happens every week on a certain day. And so library events, you might find that they have a certain event that you want to go to, but they have it every single week or every single month or every 2 weeks or twice a week, and you could enter that and save yourself a lot of time from being able to type that every single time. So again, for all of the points on this assignment, you have this rubric. So to get all of the points, you need to have at least 8 different events, include specific time and location information, and select a variety of activities. So if I see, when you turn in your assignment, if I see you have 7:30 every Friday, that tells me all you did, even though you end up having 8 events, even though it ends up having 8 events or 9 events, it's really the same event every single time, and I want to see some variety from you. So I don't want it just to be that you only did the one set of movies in the park, but rather that you looked through this list and you found other things that were interesting to you that you would like to go to. Even if you don't think you'll be able to go, put it on your calendar anyway, and then you can decide the day of or the week before or whenever you approach that activity if you'll end up going or not. So for sure, another really great one that I really enjoy attending is Draper Days. All their stuff at night where they have concerts and fireworks and stuff, super fun. So if you can get to Draper Days, that's always really fun. So if I saw on your calendar that you had your movies in the park and then you also had Draper Days, that's going to help you get more to the point value you want for that variety. But yeah, look around and see what you want to do, and add those things to your calendar.